Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with the top 5 best PC hardware deals of the week. Some really great deals this week. I am a little late on this video. I was a day late last week too, sorry about that, but better late than never, so let's get right into this with number 5. Number 5, we've got the SeaSonic S12 520 watt bronze certified power supply. This on Newegg is $44, but there's also a $15 mail-in rebate, taking a very nice power supply down to just $29.90. A very good deal for a very capable power supply. And honestly, with the 520 watt power supply, you can power things such as a GTX 1070. A lot of people tend to overspend on the power supply because there is this notion that you want to get higher wattage than you need because a power supply is very important for your build. But sometimes a lot of us do overspend on our power supplies. It's good to have a nice PSU, but something like this for just $30 after the mail-in rebate is a very nice deal. I would pair it with something like an RX 480. If you're also looking to get a power supply for, say, a pre-built computer, this would be a very nice option, and then you can get a graphics card, and then you can turn your pre-built computer into a very nice gaming rig. Just a very good deal for a very nice power supply. SeaSonic has a very good track record with their power supplies, and usually I don't see their PSUs this cheap, so this is definitely a great deal if you're in the market for a new power supply. Moving on to number 4, Newegg has also got a great ASUS monitor, the ASUS VZ239H. It's a frameless 23-inch monitor. It does have a 5 millisecond response time, and it's 1080p, ultra slim design. It's $115, but there's also a $10 mail-in rebate, knocking it down to $105. This is a very aesthetically pleasing monitor. The deal for a 23-inch monitor isn't out of this world. I've seen 23-inch monitors as low as $100 before. However, $105 after the mail-in rebate for a monitor that looks as good as this one does, I think that's a very nice deal. It's also got built-in speakers, and as far as connections go, you only have one VGA port and one HDMI port, so that's kind of disappointing. However, still a very nice monitor for the price. Moving on to number 3, there is an eBay page with an Intel Core i5-7400 Kaby Lake processor. It's down to $190, and then there's also a 20% off promo code, knocking it down to just $152. For an i5-7400, that's as cheap as it's gonna get. A very nice 3 GHz processor for just $152 if my math is on point, which I think it is. And while this isn't a K-series CPU, it's still clocked in at 3 GHz, and this is gonna perform very well in gaming, especially if you pair it with a decent enough video card. I think a big reason for these CPUs now going down in price is because there's actually a little bit of competition on the market, so that's very nice to see. This is a great deal, but I could see these CPUs getting cheaper and cheaper towards the summer. So if you don't pick it up now, I wouldn't fret too much. Like I said, I think these CPUs are going to be very competitive in terms of pricing in the near future. Final 2 deals on this list are video cards. First off, number 2 is going to be the PNY GeForce GTX 1070. It's $340 on Newegg's eBay page. $340 for a 1070 is pretty good. I paid a little over $400 for my 1070, so in comparison, this is a very nice deal. This 1070's also got a really nice black and red look, so if you want to get something to fit the color scheme of your build, there's that. And yeah, for $340, a 1070 is a great option, whether you're gaming at 1080p 144Hz or you're gaming at 1440p. It just pushes a lot of power for a relatively good price. I wouldn't really be getting a 1070 for 1080p and 60 FPS. I think a 1070 is a little overkill for that. You can go that route. The 1070 would keep you good for a while then, however, like an RX 480 can do the job at 1080p and 60 FPS, and that's almost half the price of the 1070. So I would just recommend, if you're picking up a 1070, either have a 1080p 144Hz monitor or have a 1440p monitor. Anything above 1440p. If you get into 4K with the 1070, that it's going to struggle on that. However, 1080p 144Hz or 1440p, 1070 is going to do really well in those. It's not going to completely max out everything at 1440p. As I've always said, there's always anomalies, but for the most part, it's going to give you a really great experience. Number 1 is following in line. It's the GIGABYTE GeForce GTX 1080, which is available for $500 on Newegg, which isn't like an amazing deal. That's a good price for a 1080. However, there's also a $50 off promo code, which I'll leave in the description box down below. So $450 for a 1080 with a very nice cooler. Not to mention, you also get a free copy of either For Honor or Ghost Recon Wildlands when you pick up this GPU. So very nice deal. You get a free game that's, I would say, valued at least $40. So really, you're getting a 1080 for just $410 after you take out the value of the game and you use the promo code. That's a ridiculously great deal for a 1080. This is an 8GB GPU, just like the 1070, a very powerful video card, capable of 1440p gaming. This one can push some 4K stuff, but once again, it's going to struggle a little bit at that. With the release of the 1080 Ti, the regular 1080 has been going down and down in price, so once again, just like the i5 on this list, if you don't get it now, don't fret too much. This isn't like a deal that's going to be gone forever. I see in the summer that 1080s are going to get even cheaper, but yeah, $450 $50 along with a free newly released game. You can't get much better than that, at least now. So that's gonna wrap up this video, guys. As always, thanks for watching. If you have a request for a future video, you can leave that in the comment section down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.